Gilbert, earlier you talked about, and Neil, in other words, how some of these transactions, what they've been designed to do, whether it's for growth strategies, strategic expansion, et cetera. If you were to handicap the deals that you describe, how many actually achieved their stated objective? What percentage actually, in terms of what they intended to do, that they actually achieved it?
So this is one where I don't have the hard data because we don't get involved in the integration after the deal has been, has closed. But, I do think
just your impressions will work.
Yeah, I think that a lot of these deals are being driven by really growth. And that's the reason why you have these deals. And whether that is growth through adding scale in assets, growth through adding more product capabilities or distribution relationships, or growth geographically expanding into a new area of the world, or growth through earnings accretion. Doing a consolidation transaction where you double your assets, not take any of the people, is highly accretive if you price it right? So all of those are the primary objectives for many buyers, and I think that's what they're trying to deliver to investors, whether that's an institutional investor, a public investor, a private investor. And so I do think for the most part, a majority of these deals actually do achieve the objective of growth. Otherwise, deals won't happen. And so I don't have the exact number, but I do think a predominant amount of it would actually work in terms of their stated objectives.
And I'll throw this out to the panel. Again, if you looked at it in a broad sense without, really trying to quantify the objective, who are the winners and losers as a basic matter? Again, clearly, I think we could each identify some of the transactions that have occurred over the past several years that have not played out particularly well, to the extent you feel comfortable commenting on that. And Neil, I'd invite you and Jesse to also comment on that.
I don't really have anything to say on that because every acquisition's different, and it's a combination of people, and can you put the people together, and if you're making the acquisition, are you really not only buying the assets, but you're buying the team or part of the team? But I can't tell you if they worked or they didn't, because you can go back in the years and look, and I know Charlie Johnson was not going to pay $1 billion for Templeton. He refused to pay it, so he paid $999 million, but not $1 billion. In that transaction, Franklin Templeton over the years has worked out extremely well. So it takes time on the mega mergers to find out if they really do work or don't work.
Gilbert, you have anything to add?
Just in general, I think that winners in the market certainly are those that could continue to go against the bigger firms and find ways in which to get there. And M&A is a really good tool to do that if done well and done right. And so, I have a question around kind of how we see the business go, how it's going to look like in a few years. But there will be those global players that offer products across long-only and alternative strategies across various vehicles, whether that's ETFs, mutual funds, RIC vehicles, institutional funds globally. And, if you're in one of those firms, that's great. If not, then, it's time to maybe think about what to do as it relates to being able to compete with the giants.